The Point of the Narwhal, a Fairytale by Cathy Comora. He was a murderer by trade and an inmate by conviction. And on that fateful day in November of 2019 on London Bridge, he became a hero. When a terrorist attack interrupted a criminal rehabilitation conference at Fishmongers Hall, a quick-thinking attendee grabbed a narwhal tusk off the wall and handed it to an inmate, who leapt into action using the tusk to subdue the attacker. As a result, a royal pardon was bestowed upon him by Queen Elizabeth II for bravery and heroism. This event sent shockwaves throughout the narwhal community as the news travelled from pod to pod. There was some debate over the identity of the illustrious narwhal tusk, as both great-uncle Norbert and old cousin Flubberty had succumbed to the harpoon of the legendary whaler Captain Olsen, lo, those many years prior. That is, if one is to rely upon the memory of Aunt Blubbermouth, a supremely unreliable source, if ever there was one. Nevertheless, the pod elders held a secret council meeting, whereby it was decreed that the ownership of the esteemed tusk would henceforth be attributed to great-uncle Norbert. This controversial decision incited cries of cronyism and nepotism, being that the council president was betrothed to great-uncle Norbert's grandniece. Yet, shortly after the uproar, all tension over the decision was soon washed away and forgotten, restoring peace, calm and unity among the narwhal community. This was no time for dissension, but rather a time for celebration, for the Queen had recognized one of their own, and with the helpful application of some twisty logic, the council concluded and proclaimed that all narwhals henceforth shall be royalty by extension. As a result, Aunt Blubbermouth became Aunt Lady Blubbermouth, and Brother Blowhole became Brother Sir Blowhole, and so on and so forth. With their new royal titles, narwhals literally swelled with pride and were said to measure on average a full 4 inches longer from point to tail. And so the narwhals, once happy to call themselves the unicorns of the sea, now elevated themselves to the royalty of the sea, to the despair of the queen snappers, the king mackerels, the lady fishes, and others who raised objections. And so it began that this new sense of pride brought with it a darker side, which slowly began to emerge. It started with the king mackerels, whom the royalty of the sea demoted to common mackerels, and the lady fishes became the fishy ladies, and so on and so forth. The smaller fish, once sheltered by the much larger benevolent unicorns of the sea, were now beneath the dignity of their royal protection. Their conceit and arrogance grew so that other aquatic creatures started calling them the narcissist of the sea, behind their flippers. In time, their egos became so large that they even turned on their trusty neighbours, the beluga whales, known as the canaries of the sea, due to their chatty natures. Because of the belugas' reluctance to fight, the narwhals began taunting them, calling them pointless, hoi polloi, and chickens of the sea. Secure in knowing that such a fight could be won handily, the belugas felt no need to prove themselves physically to the hoity-toity narcissists of the sea. Instead, they used their humour and cunning to wage psychological warfare. The belugas began ridiculing the narwhals by wearing T-shirts with slogans like, "My great-uncle's tusk went to London, and all I got was this lousy attitude. Kiss me, I'm fangless," and floss that nasty thing. These insults enraged the royalty of the sea, who held an emergency council meeting where cries of "insubordination" and "off with their bulbous heads" could be heard throughout the sea. And so a proposal was put forth by the Narwhals to go to war with the belugas. A vote ensued, with 5 council members voting in favour of war and only 1 objecting.
"How can my son vote in opposition to me?"
the council president asked, shaking his tusk in dismay.
"Have I not raised you with sufficient narwhal pride?"
"You have, father," the son replied respectfully.
"Then I don't understand your rebellious behaviour," the council president said in frustration. "What exactly is your point of contention?"
The council president's son answered simply, "There is no point."
"Well then, if there is no point, we shall all vote again," said the council president.
"It is pointless," the son stated boldly.
I don't understand."
The council president was exasperated. "Just give me 1 moment to plead my case, father," the son said, and with a splash of his tail, he turned and swam away. The other council members looked at one another in bewilderment.
"We must go to war with the belugas. They have besmirched our honour," the council president declared, to a hearty round of support from his associates.
"Hear, hear," they cried in unison. "Hear, hear." The son of the council president quickly returned with another whale in tow. "Father, allow me to introduce you to Betty Lou." The council president gasped in horror.
Betty Lou is a beluga. How dare you bring an enemy into our camp?"
"She is not our enemy, father. She is my wife." The council president stared in disbelief.
"How could you marry a beluga? We are the royalty of the sea. We males have royal tusks, and the beluga males are completely pointless," he cried incredulously. Just then, a tiny little whale swam up to the council president's son and nudged him affectionately. "This is Luigi. He is my son." He's not your son. He has no point,"
cried the council president. "He is my son. He is our son. He is a Narluga. He is pointless, as you would call him. There is no point. He is tuskless, just like his beluga side of the family."
But if he is your son," the council president reasoned, "that means he's my grandson."
This sudden realization caused a hush to fall over the council, while all eyes were glued upon the council president, as they waited with bated breath. The council president thought deeply for about a minute. Then a faint smile appeared across his face. He gently spoke.
"Do you think he would like a codfish?"
he offered kindly. Baby Luigi swam up to take the bait. He nudged against his grandfather affectionately in appreciation. The council president nudged him back and gave him another codfish, which Luigi swallowed enthusiastically emitting a hearty little burp. The council members chuckled softly at the adorableness. Luigi's burp sent a vibration throughout the water, which quickly reached the council president's wife, activating her maternal instincts and sending her swimming in haste to find its origin. "I have a grandson," the council president's wife bellowed, suddenly appearing as if by magic. Grandchild news travels faster than the speed of light in the aquatic world. "Where is he? Where is my grandson?" she demanded. "Here he is, Mother. His name is Luigi," the council president's son said proudly. "I'm so happy," the grandmother bellowed as she swam to Luigi, showering him with rubs and kisses. Upon hearing the joyous news, all the narwhals and the belugas raced excitedly to the council hall and joined together in celebration and song. "Oh joy, it is a precious Naluga boy." "You see, Father, I told you it was pointless," the council president's son said, pointing to Luigi's face.
"It is true. He has no point, my son, but you have made a very good point," the council president conceded. "A very good point indeed." "May I have your attention?"
the council president asked for all whales to gather around him.
"I'm sorry we let our fame and notoriety go to our heads. With this marriage and this blessed event, we are all now related to each other, and by extension, we are all now related to Great Uncle Norbert. Therefore, I hereby proclaim that we are all royalty of the sea."
The narwhals and belugas cried out together with thunderous bellows of love and approval.
"We are all royalty of the sea."
They chanted together in friendship and harmony. And from that day on, the narwhals and the belugas got along just swimmingly, and they lived happily ever after, lording it over the common mackerels, the fishy ladies, and all the others of that lowly ilk. The end.